Come on in here and sit your ass down here. Find a table. You should have been on time. You seen the flyer. This shit started at 7 o'clock. Here you come in light skinned and late as hell. Sit down somewhere. And you too. You were late too. I seen you just come in here 36 seconds ago. Y'all was here early, so I ain't gonna fuck with you. I seen the way you started looking nervous like. Yeah, y'all was in on time and shit. It's good to see y'all. Hopefully everybody got on deodorant because we're sitting in here close. You said, you did what? What you said? We did start late. Well, what the fuck time you get here? Was you here at 6:15 or something? Place ain't even open at damn 6:15, July and ass. Y'all did start. It be the light-skinned people. That's why I'm glad I'm brown. I want no disagreements out of none of y'all with this shit. Shout out to the people over here in the back. Hey, let me get that French fry. Miss Lady. Let me get that. I'll come get it. Don't let this light-skinned fool get it. I am the deep voice in this motherfucker tonight. I just don't use it. Shit. And I like what them got that hat on too, that shit. Coming from the color purple 3000 wearing this shit. I love that. Come on, Saturday. Oh no, you look like you do push-ups. I ain't fucking with you. Vic, don't come in here fucking with people because I ain't fucking with your big ass either. Hell, that motherfucker been on Wheaties since this morning, man in the can and shit. Yeah, shit. Popeye, this your woman?
Yes, sir.
Damn. You was depressed when y'all met? That just, you said fuck it, huh? I'm tired of the dating pool. Had a couple cups of that dark liquor, said, you know what? Shit, come on. Y'all together? He probably got good credit, I can see why they He got that I got good credit haircut and shit. It ain't even faded, it just lining through the back, just fuck it. What's some more couples in here? Any couples over here? Oh. Black Fist, what they say? You better not say shit. So ain't nothing. Y'all ain't couple? Damn, all right. We got the couples over here and the lonely motherfuckers over here. So if you single still over this way, there's somebody here that will get you. Talk to him after the show. I see you wave. Hey. You can wave at who you want to. I don't give a fuck. You can come up here and talk to him if you want to. Shit. Wichita, motherfucking USA, aka Wichita Titty. I've been scanning this whole crowd to see which of these titties I might get to borrow for the end of the night. You know, part of the time. Not you, miss, gotta be on time, because I'm a late nigga. It happens. Shit, the wind was blowing and the goddamn skin got caught in it. Hell, shout out for weight loss. I lost like 200 pounds, so all this extra shit is hard to deal with. Hey, the fucked up shit they'll tell you when you lose the weight. I laid on my side one night, and I promise I thought my ass crack went all the way to the top of my motherfucking neck when that skin folded over. If you ain't got the money to get that skin taken off, stay fat, fuck it. I got them old women arms now that them motherfuckers flap when I wave at people and shit. Yeah, so you gotta be careful with this shit. It happens. I get up in the morning and my stomach look like I ain't ironed today and shit. That's why I'm looking for me a woman had a C-section before. Both our stomach don't look like balled up homework. Fuck it. Me one of them used to be big women. Shit, not too big. I used to get attacked by them. Big women get angry now and shit too, especially the ones wearing them spaghetti strap shirts where their back look like tied up ham. Them motherfuckers got attitudes and shit. They either smell like Japanese cherry blossom or fried pork chops. It's one of the motherfuckers too, yeah. And I know some of y'all, all you pretty women in here got one of them fat ass friends that be on that shit, don't you? You ain't just want out of here. You know you got one of them big ass friends with them ashy ass heels that's cracked on the back. I know them heels crack on the back. I got them. I be sitting there going to some young holding them all the time to fix my shit up. And I love them little slanted ass motherfuckers. They be like, oh, your foot? Nah, I came in here for an elbow, motherfucker. Hell, that's what y'all do is pedicure. Shit. Is that my drink? What, man? Oh, no, that's water. Never mind. You old enough to be in here, fella? How old are you? 21? Shit, boy, hell, I remember youth. Is your auntie, sister? No shit. You looking for a stepdad? I mean, at least for like 48 hours or something. I don't even live up here. You ain't got to worry about seeing me long. Shit. I'm just saying. I ain't fuck with you. You from Wichita? And you 21? I'm leave you alone. That man, he don't need no stepdaddy. Niggas up here be on some different shit. I ain't entertaining to you or some shit? You sit there scrolling Facebook, you didn't come up here in your goddamn prom dress and you don't want to watch the fucking show? You just gonna sit there on the phone, you ain't recording this shit or nothing. Who you texting? So you just on social media? Put that goddamn phone down. No, you put the phone down, I can keep going with the show. You ain't got your hair done and everything for this shit. Brung out your good bag and all this, and now you want to just play around on the phone. She with y'all? Y'all sisters, cousin or something? Y'all sisters? That's the one that acts like that, huh? It's all right. I'm just fucking with you. What's your name? You a lying motherfucker. There ain't been a black Mary since 1968. Hell, there ain't been no goddamn Mary. Of all names to pick out the damn Bible, you pick Mary? You gonna go Jesus, mama? You sitting up here in a dress with no fucking drawers and you gonna name yourself as a Jesus, mama? I'm just fucking with you, Takesha. Cause I know damn well your name ain't no motherfucking Mary. Black folks don't even name their kids biblical names no damn more. Hell. Oh, this is shit I told. There's always one. There's always, and you were late too. You just not getting it. Where you been?
I was busy.
Wait, what's your name?
Alicia.
Alicia? You know them too? But y'all related?
No.
Y'all just friends? How Papa get her? Tell the truth. It must have been tax time, wasn't it? He got that good ass motherfucking tax return. She had a car payment due, phone about to get cut off. She was talking to one of her black homegirls, say, you know you sell a little bit of pussy. Get your shit taken care of. Don't feel bad about it. Niggas been buying it since the beginning of time. Yeah, we take you out on a date, go to the movies, all that shit. Yeah, it's paid for. So shit. Y'all be good. It's good to see y'all. All y'all looking good tonight and shit. We're about to have a hell of a time. We've got some amazing poets gonna be coming up and shit like that. We do have a surprise poet come up. Black told you about it, but we're gonna bring him up here. Y'all make some noise for him.
So Red Summer, 1919, was the first lesson in history and racial bullshit I learned while growing up in Chicago. My second, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921, the Black Wall Street bombing. 56 years after slavery in America was quote unquote abolished, but right smack dab in the middle of the Jim Crow era. Later on, I found out that in 1938, Hitler was Time Magazine's Man of the Year, followed by Stalin in 1939 and in 1942. In 1955, a little 14-year-old boy traveled from Chicago to Mississippi, only to be lynched for being accused for whistling at a white lady. His killers acquitted. 1964, we were granted civil rights by uncivil people. I fear I may have integrated my people into a burning house. 1969, COINTELPRO targeted the Black Panther Party, neutralizing not only its leader, but the mindset of unity in the community. 1971, COINTELPRO conveniently completed its mission. 1980s. We all know that this was the crack cocaine epidemic. CIA trafficked drugs from overseas to America, strategically placing them in every hood. 1987. We were newly branded African American. And that's the term that everyone seemed to roll with because it was less aggressive, less offensive. But that's not on my birth certificate, so please do not call me that. 1996, we were labeled super predators, and policy soon followed the propaganda to make sure that label stuck. As of today, there are over 75,000 missing Black women and girls, over 120,000 missing Black boys and men. Most are still missing. Some won't return. They were sold for sex, sold for their organs, or just plain killed off. But yet we turned a blind eye because It's none of our business. What's up, y'all? My name is Victor, and I'm sorry for the brief introduction. I didn't come here to tickle your ear with soft words. I came to illuminate, to enlighten, to put a spotlight on your heart, kind of hit you where it hurts. This time frame, these dates. Someone please remind me again when America was great.
We all eventually grow into adults, but that transition happens at different times and in varying degrees for each of us. Me, myself, and I are still in the process of making that transition. So it's understandable, at least to one of the three of us, when we do something stupid. Now, before I offend the one stupid person out there in the audience, let me say, had I known that you didn't know you were stupid, I would have never called you stupid. Now unwrap that little jewel on your way home, for 'tis a sticky web that Charlotte doth weave. Now you see, when I told my wife, Belinda, that I wanted to do a one-man show that included tidbits from my life, she said that's fine as long as I didn't say shit about her. And I said, that's no problem, even though we've known each other since we were 9 and 10 years old. I was in the 5th grade, she was in the 4th grade. But I are a wise man. So any reference that I make or have made that hints at the fact that I've been married for over 40 years, just say that's part of my insane meanderings. That there might be peace in the Hanks household. For I'm positive that there are many amongst you who have heard the phrase, happy wife, happy life. And they say that should be a man's mantra, that he could have a happy life. As if being married to someone whose beauty transcends one's own linguistic abilities to describe, causing the bearer of said weight to lose what little verbiage he has. 'Tweren't enough for happiness' sake. Forsooth, happy is he who can first be happy alone. There your harshest critic thou shalt assail. Now please forgive me, sometimes my Othello breaks free when I least expect it. You see, if I had a wife, I imagine one of the things she'd dislike is my thought processing about acting or being an actor. You see, acting is simply lying and being believable. So if I'm going to be the best that I can be, then I need to practice my craft as often as I can. Hence the mantra that I live by and got me through marriage is, if I was married, that is, happy wife, happy lie through your teeth. Are there any pictures? Still tell a damn lie. Now, yes, I realize that makes me sound cruel, calculating, and even a little devious. I never realized I was such a bad boy. When the truth of the matter is, I was none of those things. You see, I don't know how long the phone rang that morning, but I can hear it ringing still. Hello? Yes, this is. What? What? No. When? Where is she? This isn't real. I'm still sleeping. But I awake at the hospital and they say my wife is here, but they'll be transferring her over there. Now I look down in her eyes and she's not here or there. Now the body is there, but that's when you realize that our body is simply our vehicle. It carries us from point A to point B. It is what gets us from birth to death, but it's not us. So I follow the flashing lights from here to there. Won't someone please answer the phone? She had a stroke? Yes, but we found an aneurysm. Oh, then you mean the stroke saved her? Yes, it will. Until we repair the aneurysm, and guess what? She has another stroke after the operation, worse than the one before. Would someone please answer that phone? After 30 days of death, we awaken to life. Just what are your plans for your wife, Mr. Hanks? It was such a strange question to hear from one's own physician, but I answered with no hesitation that I planned on taking her home. She smiled at my ignorance and stated to me that my wife would be a vegetable and would never go home. Would someone answer the damn phone? I smiled too, thanked her for her prognosis, and thanked the fact that she was only a doctor and not God. Somewhere I hear a song ask, what if God was one of us? I shudder at the thought of his agape love being reduced to our current whoever looks the best is loved the most. Please, someone make it stop ringing. So many friends and family members were surprised by my devotion that I realized that I had played my part so well that no one knew me but me, and only I could make the phone stop ringing. Thank you.
Can I tell y'all who I am? Yes. All right. I'm a good girl with a lot to offer. I'm a good girl with a lot to offer. I can just about anything above and under the sun to make my man happy. It's what I tell myself when I wake up in the morning. Trying to make myself believe it when the fact is I don't. I give, and get nothing in return but another burden added to the folds of my heart. I'm smart, with a good head on my shoulders, but the only thing I'm good for is making the men in my life realize the woman they should be with is the one before me. When really, that chick did them scandalous and that's how they found me, but now they're leaving. I find myself after you left and I knew what comes along relating to small mistakes to the big ones you've made. I'm listening to slow songs trying to bounce back into the mood. Look, I'm reading romance novels hoping that one of the men will fall out of the pages and into my lap so I can breathe relationship again. But you hurt me beyond measure, and now that I think on it, I probably should have never gave you my treasure. You've infatuated my thoughts and came around to my reason of insecurity. I'm so used to the lies I can't tell the truth. I want to believe that this one is real, but there I go again, letting the small mistakes to the big ones you've made it. I've just become another trick of the trade, but I'm persuaded that before it's all said and done, my son will see me happy. We'll know what love is through the eyes of his mommy, because I'm a good girl with a lot to offer. I'm a good girl with a lot to offer. I can just about anything above it under the sun to make my man happy. It's what I keep telling myself in the morning until it comes true. Simply Poetry, how y'all doing? Good. So Simply Poetry, happy birthday. I want to say happy birthday to you. I know it. I want to say happy birthday to you. Hey, all right. Happy birthday. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay, so, what's next?
Make me a bird.
Make me a bird.
Oh, I gotta make him a bird. Okay. How many Forrest Gump fans we got in here? Any Forrest Gump fans? Forrest Gump fans. Okay. How many people don't like Jenny? Y'all don't like Jenny? How many y'all don't like it? Okay, so I wrote a poem about it. Y'all want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Lately, I've been praying. I grew up in church. The church is still in me, even though I ain't been in a while on purpose. I've been praying. It's the same prayer that Jenny prayed. Once when she was a child and then again in her adult life. And what I used to laugh at when I was a child, now in my adult life, I find myself saying it. Applying it to various situations. Dear God, make me a bird. So that I can fly far, far away from here, dear God. Make me a bird. So that I can fly far, far away from here. All we really knew was that her daddy was a drunk and she was running through a cornfield. All she knew to do was pray, and my young ass laughed. She was trying to get away. It wasn't nothing funny about that, and I understand it more now that I'm grown. We can admit it now. Forrest Gump wasn't your typical love story. Forrest wanted to love. Jenny only thought she knew what it was, searching for it, going through the motions, when all along it was right up under her nose. It might not have been packaged how she imagined it, and Jenny didn't want to fuck it up, but she knew that she would. And if you've never seen the movie, I just spoiled it for you. He gets the girl after she exhausted all of her options. It got me to thinking. I was running. I've been running. A country mile trying to avoid it like the plague, because it's the most exhausting thing that I've experienced in life. This thing called love can oftentimes be confused with lust, and we end up placing it where it doesn't belong. Placing it where it doesn't belong, but stupid is as stupid does. And in life, it's like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. And I got a box of half-eaten pieces of chocolate and run over shoes from all this running. I want to love, but I don't know what I'm doing. Jenny didn't know what she was doing. Just what she got into. And Forrest was always there, despite the trees, the drugs she used, the men she chose. She saw it, and it was too late. Got me wondering if I'm too late. If I let Forrest get away, being a bird. But then again, isn't that what I pray for? Dear God, make me a bird so that I can fly far, far away from here. Dear God, make me a bird so that I can fly far, far away from here. Pray with me, boys. And that's that So the first time I was here, I had my second book, Bittersweet 16, Lost Soul, Naive Girl. But I have my first book here tonight. Tell My Son Thank You. It's here. Tell My Son Thank You. And with that being said, I'm gonna go into a new piece. Is that okay? Yeah. So if someone was to ask me to choose between being a mother and being a poet, I wouldn't choose either. They chose me. Two very special blessings that came at different times in my life. My journey with the pen started when I was young, and I ain't know nothing about no poetry. I didn't even know if I could really call myself a poet, but I went for it. And when I became a mother, it was a fantasy. It was a fairy tale that I was told about, and I gave up on it. And then, all of a sudden, I became someone's mother, and I had to rise to the occasion. Y'all heard the story, haven't you? I'll tell y'all the story later. But, never mind. I'll tell y'all the story now. Y'all want to hear it?
Yeah.
You'd have thought I woke up that morning and said, you know what? I'm going to be pregnant today. And it's going to be by him. You know what? This motherfucker thought that he was bubblegum in a dish. How many pieces do you wish? One, the bus was late. Two, responded to a random text message. 3, time, space, and opportunity. I took the steps. 4, I shouldn't hit the button. 5, I was gonna leave before my pussy failed me. 6, my pussy failed me. 7, I was still going to work. 8, I was gonna be late for work. 9, that wasn't the only thing that I was late for. 10, it's a boy. It's a boy. And basically, that's my story, but let him tell it. I was stuck on stupid. I was convinced he was the cream of the crop. I set out to ruin his life. This motherfucker thought that he was bubblegum in a dish. How many pieces do you wish? 10. You asked for him and then reneged. 9, 6 months old. The only time that you've seen him outside of pitch is 8. He just turned 9. 7, argue me down about your whereabouts. 6, he doesn't believe that you exist. You must be in outer space. His words, not mine. 5, I never knew what wasting the benefit of the doubt was until there was the likes of you. 4, I wasn't gonna waste this lead on you, but I had to get it off my chest. 3, I thought you knew better. But if you knew better, you do better. 2, you could try, but refuse. And like Ray J, if I had one, it would just be, I wish that nigga would be a father. And that's that piece. So that's the story. I really do love being a poet. And I love being a mother. I wouldn't have it any other way. God knew what he was doing when he does all things well. Let me just say that. So, can I get comfortable? Is that okay? All right, because I can't breathe. All right. Whew. All right. Now I can breathe. All right, so, let's do a temperature check. You remind me of a girl that I once knew. I see her face whenever I look at you. Wouldn't believe all of the things she put me through. Hey. So, I wrote a poem about it, but I'm gonna read it. So, he tried it. Every which way but true. He tried it. For a second had me thinking it was really me. Thought I had lost what was left of my mind, holding on to things he never unpacked in the first place. He tried it. Thinking this was just a part of a milestone, a point to reach, a goal to achieve, which brings me to a painstaking reality. He thought he was doing me a favor. Like, he was the best thing since sliced bread, a savior sent to save me when at best it's him that needs saving. Hide behind images he created in his head. He tried it. Every which way but truth. Had me apologizing for his projection, wearing his uncertainty like it was clothes he took pride in putting on. It took me a minute to wake up, but when I did, it was like I had a new lease on life. My eyes were open. The wool wasn't over my eyes. I could see that it wasn't me. He tried it. Every which way but truth. Tried to spin the story, got me dizzy from self-made ambition to try and make this work. I don't want to have to struggle to love, to trust, to respect, to not give in so easily should never be an option. Something to consider, but at last here we are. He tried it. Every which way but truth. I hit the road harder than Jack. I wasn't in the business of keeping anything that doesn't want to be kept. Straight like that. We ain't keeping nothing that don't want to be kept around these days. So, back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Hey, come on. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Some days I still wish I was a kid. Ha! I remember when they didn't give a damn. I remember when shit got swept under the rug. We been having to get it out the mud. Back in the days when I was young, they didn't tell us Pepper Le Pew was a creep. They said he was aggressive, and we rolled with it. But now, he promotes rape culture. WAP is inappropriate. It is. But I remember the first time I got in trouble for singing about corn. Slide on my knob, like corn on the cob. Hey, I had to get grown to realize simply these kids are soft. And I blame all the mixed messages that we've received over the decades. I really can't keep up with this shit. Do I tell my son that there's no such thing as the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus? I mean, I could keep telling him that the Tooth Fairy is broke. Hell, all I know is that he's not supposed to have a care in the world, but I always feel like somebody's watching me. You see, surveillance clubs with preconceived notions because he black in America, born during the prime of Skittles and Arizona teas. Neighborhood vigilantes. I was 21. The very first time I stood staring down the barrel of a gun held by the police, and my son is 9 years old. Come to my shoulder already, and if you didn't hear him speak, you probably think he was older than he actually appears to be, and that terrifies me. I'm constantly looking over my shoulder like somebody's watching me. And if they're providing, praying, protecting, I really can't tell the difference. One day walking home from school, my son told me that he didn't want to grow up. And I forgot how old he was and said why, because you were a Toys R Us kid. And he looked at me strange. And I smiled, but deep down I wanted to shed a thug tear because he would never know. Kids these days is going through far more than we did. And my childhood was the shit. If I be honest, I can remember the times, but I found myself wondering if I could give my son the same ones. I mean, I tried, but it's like society's foot was on my neck. All of a sudden, they give a damn. Everything is a problem. Kids can't be kids no more, and I always feel like somebody's watching me, waiting on me to fuck up. But you know what? There is someone watching me, and those eyes are the only eyes that matter. And respectfully, fuck y'all. Okay? One more and then I'm gone. Simply Poetry, thank you all for loving me the way y'all love me. And for the support that y'all give me. It means the world to me. I would not be the poet that I was if I didn't have people like y'all to support me, right? So, can I leave you with a prayer? See, I don't do this often. I haven't prayed in a long time. Y'all heard me say that earlier. I pray, but I haven't been in church in a long time, but it's been even longer since I've prayed. And so one night, I had a moment, and I needed to pray. And so this was the prayer that I prayed. I'm a sinner. It's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. Things I don't understand. Sometimes I need to be alone. I heard it somewhere that it was stated that when you wake up in the middle of the night, it might not be a case of an insomnia. God might be pulling on you. Wants to hear from you. See, and after a week of not being able to sleep, I began to think that maybe what I heard was true. Maybe God misses me. But honestly, I wouldn't know where to start. We got the potential to be here till the wee hours of the morning until the sun comes up because it's been a long time. And I really wouldn't know where to start or how to begin. You mean there's a lot I could say. I don't want to come off like I'm nagging. I mean, my prayers aren't the only prayers that need answers. And you know, they tell you not to question God. But if the Bible declares in all thy getting, get an understanding, how does that come without a question being asked? And I got questions. I'm concerned. I was tired of getting it wrong. Now, I've seen miracles, been through enough things to know that God is real. But God, I just got to be real. I miss you. Like, really, really, really miss you. And it's been longer than I'd like for it to have been. And I'm not pointing any fingers. In fact, you could put the blame on me and say that it was my fault. Because I know there was a lot of things I did, a lot of things I don't talk about, hate to remember. It's like my childhood has come back to haunt me, reminding me of all the things that I forgot about. It's pressed down, shaking, and boiling over. I can't hold it. God, I miss you. Simply Poetry, thank you.
George Stinney. George Stinney was 14 years old, yet was charged as an adult for the murder of 2 women. The trial took 3 hours, and after a 10-minute deliberation, the 14-year-old young man was sent to the electric chair. So many times we hear of youth being charged as an adult, being held accountable for their actions. But as we grow older, it seems to happen less and less so. Our older generation gets the excuses. Oh, they grew up in a different time. That's just how it was back then. Frankly, I don't give a fuck. Hate has no place in my presence. We constantly make concessions for our elders, and they're taking full advantage. Age is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. I watch them go from walking to school in 10 feet of snow, barefoot, uphill both ways, to driving a brand new car with all the bells and whistles. From home phones to smartphones. You can't tell me that you're not capable to learn how to not fucking say words. That's all I'm asking. You tell me that respect is earned and not given, yet you feel your age entitles you to it. But you can't seem to respect my fucking wishes. Take your racism and homophobia the fuck away from me. Hate isn't hereditary. It's not ingrained in you. My friends are my family. The family I chose. My friends are black. My friends are gay. My friends are Hispanic. My friends are every different race, religion, and sexual orientation. My friends are the world. And all I can say is that if you hate my world, then you hate me. Thank you. So I've had some family issues here recently. I was on a real nice path there for a while, but we obviously have butted some heads based on these two pieces. This next piece focuses on more so who I was, I'd say probably 3-4 years ago. A lot of growth, a lot of personal pain came from that change, growing pains. I was a barely functional alcoholic. I took a long time of not drinking. Now I feel like I have it in control. I can have a glass of wine or two. But I mean, Black Soul back in our Lyrics and Laughs days, I was the drunkest motherfucker everywhere. So I got tired of that. And so I wrote this piece based on that feeling. I used to always have something to do. There was always a party or a group going to the bar or a late night bonfire. Alcohol was the lubrication I used to navigate social situations. I had my phrases, like, I don't abuse alcohol, I teach it a fucking lesson. Or, I'd rather have a story to tell than a boring night. Or, my most common, you pour alcohol on your outside wounds, I just simply pour it on my inside wounds. You know what I'm saying? These flooded from my mouth just as fast as the booze I drained into it. But there were always people around me. I was the most lonely when I quit drinking. I was surrounded by those that were celebrating my own self-destruction, my own implosion, so they could simply bask in the glow. I had the most friends when I truly was the worst version of myself. Every interaction was a scream for help, but the people I felt closest to me were deaf to my cries, and that cut deeper than any blade. It hurt. My voice faded out as I realized no one was paying attention anymore. Searching the bottom of every bottle for the treasure map that would lead to my happiness. The keys to my smile were locked in a liquor cabinet. I didn't want to be on this earth anymore. But I couldn't end my life and have my friends and family blaming themselves for simply not seeing the signs. So I found a loophole. That if I tried to make it look, So I found a loophole that I tried to make into a noose. If I lost my life to drinking, whether it be DUI accident or simply that I had enough, that anger could shift and they could blame me. They could hate me, and then eventually they could move on. And I'm proud to say that I actually did teach alcohol a fucking lesson. I beat my addiction through understanding its roots. The foundation of my problems was trying to escape. If I was numb, I didn't have to feel my failure. But there's a reason they call them growing pains. Through pain comes the growth, and from the growth sprouts beauty. I was the rose on the sidewalk trying to grow through the cracks. The worst part about my newfound freedom from the chains of this addiction is the reputation I had with my family. Still, to this day, I'm the fuck up, the train wreck. And you wonder why you don't see any of my blood at these shows, and it's because sometimes blood has to be shed. I just want them to fucking see me. To see the growth and potential that I have now, but I'll always be classified in the same position. And I refuse to trim my limbs to fit your mold because you fear sitting in my shadow. 140,000 people die from excessive alcohol use in the US each year. And I fucking beat it. So fuck it, I'll be arrogant. I earned my fucking flowers, and for that, I could have been a statistic. You don't fucking care. You want me pigeonholed in the version of myself that fucking suits you. So try and look for me where you left me and you won't find me. Because I'm not there anymore.
It was love at first sight. I know from the way she looked at me. Her eyes said it all. Long days and nights we spent until she dropped the bomb on me. Do-do-do-do-do. She said that she was unhappily married with children, and I wish I never met her at all. Even though I love her so, she got love for me. It's said that God is agape, meaning God is love. So to know love is to know God. And God has no form, meaning love has no form, no one set version. For so long, my encounters with love has been a battle. And I hate fighting God. Bare knuckle brawl with my life in the palm of hand is beating hearts as war drum is tribal. A gift given and often mishandled. I don't know exactly what love is. So does that mean I don't know God? Is my relationship so shaky that one on this plane isn't in the picture? A wonder painted before my ears with colors unseen, a creation created from my rib? Am I so much of a broken thing I don't know when someone is trying to love me? Why is it that I can't see the God in them and know that I'm worthy? I no longer search for God in people. We all have a side-eye view of love, but God, I love you wholeheartedly. But why is it that I can't love another? I wonder, do they see the God in me, meaning they know I'm capable of love too? My reflection begins to switch, and I don't know what to do. My spirit say fight, but my mind like flesh say fuck it. You trapped in me, and we are tapped in. Ain't no God you can call and talk to. Don't know God live here in this labyrinth you call a mind. You don't know what love is. All you know is arm's length. You see the Lucifer, false God, light bringer, tossed out. He was loved the most, and look what happened to him, you thought. Look what I'm doing to you, you thought. Twisting slide, meaning downward spiral. Why you so lost, boy? What happened to the Peter Pan you wrote about? What happened to your love's 10 commandments? It's only windy because you sleep alone now, and you really alone now, and only love can save you. The real question, do you see God in yourself? And I can't argue with reflection. I mean, it's too much like talking to self, but ain't that prayer? A conversation, hope, and love hears you. I mean, God, are you listening? I understand your message loud and clear. I need to love myself before I can love another. So, John, I love you wholeheartedly. But it's fucked up because you get in that position when you go through things. See, life, you come into it innocent. You come into it blind. Other things around you make you what you are, so it hardens you. It makes you afraid, it makes you fear. And so with fear comes shaky movement. Acrophobia. It's a fear of heights. Aerophobia is a fear of flying, and we all know arachnophobia is a fear of spiders. Astrophobia is a fear of thunder and lightning. Autophobia is a fear of being alone. Anuctophobia is a fear of being single. Alone as in with oneself, unable to escape thoughts succumbing to them. It's a trap. I seem to find parts of myself in these, and it's interesting how some of these fit snug like too small sweater that just so happens to be your favorite. And when we all have small fears, we see huge, like homophobia is a fear of marriage. Genophobia is a fear of women. Filiophobia is a fear of love. I find it hard to say I love you. to things that are forever fleeting. I never truly loved a woman other than family. I love beautiful sunlit days and crisp moonlit nights. I've noticed none of my siblings have significant others. How hard it is to trust. And believe me, I tried. And once I searched, I learned you don't search, but it'll find you like rock bottom. They saved your life, and with that comes trust. I won't say my fear of women is a phobia, but it's a fear nonetheless, and I'd be fooled, hoping to get bit by that love bug and hit with Cupid's arrow, because I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. It's beating on a calloused chest, Morse code, I want to love you. Phobias and all. Programming. P R O G R A M M I N G. Programming. It's the process of making a set of instructions for a computer to tell it how to perform a task. Me, a human child, I was a young novice. Only with the set of instructions that came from my parents, and she was an expert programmer, a babysitter. I was too young to know better, naive I was, common sense wasn't developed in my brain. I was easy to manipulate. She taught me her code. She played with me in empty rooms to see secret trips. She played with me in empty rooms to see secret lessons on anatomy, secret reciprocity, conditional statements. She said if I do this, then she do that. She had me suck her nipple after she sucked me. I felt a tingle in my bones, but I wasn't able to release. I couldn't give her the gift she should receive. I wasn't even prepubescent. And when I sucked her nipple, it reminded me of home. It was mother's milk, but they were bared. You know, no nutrition bought from that Amazonian temptress, just early corruption to my system, coded early sexuality. I didn't ask for it. But with great power, it comes an array of responsibility, and I kept the secret that lingers in the shadow of pride. I programmed myself to believe I wasn't molested. Nah, I wasn't molested. I was trained, y'all. And I was trained well. Think about it. Is it molestation if it was a woman? If she was nice? If it felt good? If she programmed you to make a woman feel good? I'm just going off the lessons I was taught, and what I was taught, it wasn't wrong, but I was broken. Before I can even realize I was broken, I had to take a glimpse at the images of my past, but the programming, it reappears. Us in the empty room. It's us in the empty room. I'm just going off the lessons I was taught, and what I was taught, it wasn't wrong. And I realized that it happens. And I realized that it happened to me. And I know now it is not a badge of honor. So you just gotta work through that, you know what I'm saying? Evolve, you gotta learn how to maneuver. See, I was taught by parents that are very, 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 very respectful. My dad's a PK. And so Sunday nights I would sit in church and he would preach, and I'm like fighting my own, you know, I'm tussling. So I'm like, I tussled with some demons while I sat with the deacon on the weekend my father was preaching. The ceiling began to leak and it flooded the whole place. The deacon died. I guess he didn't have faith. I made it out okay. The church was closed to the flood damage, of course. We did the sermon outside. It was a funeral, of course, voice hoarse. It's hard to be heard in a house when the house is empty. Ask the church. I guess it's time to tap into that new church fund. I had $100 hopes. Rent was due. I had a thirst. I was told I could quench it, so I came to you. I mean, I went where the sinners go to. But it's a masquerade, and I'm getting judged for my mask, but they got the same mask on their face. Okay, see, I tussled with some demons while I sat with the deacon on the weekend my father was preaching. And after the church received his fiction, it was ready to continue its mission. I had a vision. You see, my eyes began to leak, forever being labeled as tears. I cried to being lost. I cried to be found. I flooded the church this time around. I guess my problems was too much for me. There's no reason why I keep tussling, but I seen a dude wearing weird clothes walking in my neighborhood. And I'm like, who are you and where are you from? And he responded, I am from Jerusalem. Or Bethlehem to be exact, but if you want me to be honest, I'm from where my father is at. And I'm like, where is that? Because I ain't never seen you before. and you got somewhere closed in your drawers. I'm not here to judge or interrogate, but you stopped in front of my gate and it's late and there's no time, like the president, he said, open up your hands. He handed me a present. He said, go ahead and take a bite. This is my body. And I'm like, could this be the dude that everybody's talking about? He's taking the time and he's hearing me out. He's a down-to-earth cat who was a king amongst men as he walked amongst them, but I didn't recognize him. I blankly stared at his hands holding the broken bread with the holes in them, and he said, wash it down with this. He handed me a cup filled with something red in it, and he called it the blood. And I said, hold up, cuz. He said the earthly meaning is different from the spiritual one. To put it plainly, I am the son born from a miracle, a strength from where clothes can heal you. You see, I feel you. I just need you to take that last step. I walk 99.99% of the way. I just need you to take that 1% left. Use your breath. I wanted your acknowledgement, and then I'll do the rest. So go ahead and take the bite. This is my body. Wash it down with this, because it is the blood, and give me your life, because I am the son, and who are you? I'm a lost soul, searching for an answer, longer, something better, so I'm writing a love letter and planting a seed, hoping that it grows with ease, and I'm hoping my leaves leave a message. Even the fallen have a calling they just need to see. See, I'm longing to be free, but I don't want to want something that I need. I am. Cool. Am I good on time? I think I got like 35 minutes left. I got a couple more. Solid. All right. I did all that cool stuff. I did all that cool stuff. Inside I had some fun now. That was the camera I did that in, y'all. That was not for anything dramatic. Hey, yo, shout out to sundresses. I know the season is almost over, but I love this. I love it. Oh my God, the sun is coming back. It's coming back with a vengeance, and so with sundresses. All right. On this planet, we suffer through many trying times. Hell on earth. We call them seasons. And I'm not picky. I deal with what I've been dealt. I mean, what control do I really have? But I realized that what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. So, to the persons or person that added to the 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall, I want to thank you. Thank you for come say it with me, y'all, sundress season. Yeah, this is the time when less is more and heaven is on earth, as blessed wingless angels walk freely, donning halos, leaving imagination to the imagination while still being sexy. That is just a little bit of shoulder. You don't need me to tell you, but damn, you look good. Yeah, how you don that, wear that armor, don your skin with, You have the power to grasp men's attention. You have them floating at the sight like Looney Tunes. Sundresses will make waves of people split like Moses, with eyes on both sides watching, but guess what? There are more blessings to be remembered. Moses, I'm sorry. She ain't got shit on you in the sundress. How she can leap over buildings in a single bound. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a woman in a sundress. It doesn't need like, there's a build up to it too, right? Coming soon. Summer body build up sundress season. I'm done with that. Oh, I love that poem. I gotta memorize it though. That was horrible. I did not memorize it. All right, I want to do one more. Can I read it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Anybody like Batman?
Yeah.
It's really more of a belt.
You said what? Okay. I hear a lot of shit. Okay, here we go, you guys. This is the last poem. Unless you guys want something erotic, I can let you choose. You can get this or an erotic poem.
Erotic Batman.
Huh? Erotic Batman? I wish. All right, here we go. Doc, I did what you suggested. I wrote it. And the exercise a few hidden demons. The poem to my depression. I understand you make up one part of me. I worry about you, I mean us. I feel like we in Arkham Asylum, finding comfort in dark rooms with white dusty walls, finding peace in the dripping, leaking, soaking in sorrow. That's not me, but you seem to like company. Crippling, turn bed into dark sinking place with blanket, the only hug we look forward to. Call it safe and warm, but it's still in this asylum, a place I once held as a sanctuary. My mind flooded with a barrage of questions. Riddle me this, does she even like me? Why am I so broken? Do I attract broken things? Is this why I'm always alone? Some nights I don't think you realize you stolen sleep from me. Had me wide awake at night till the sun peaks, no sleep, making people ask if I'm okay, what's going on? You too silent, your lights dim, why you so dark night gloomy? You funny, Batman who laughs. I don't know how to answer questions, Dr. Quinn. I can't get answers to the ones I have. I know my anxiety is working with my depression. Team up, no tag team. I'm wrestling while restless. Opponent sheet and pillow, I'm doing my damnedest to not get pinned to mattress. So now I give part truths, kicking out, speaking in code, grabbing ropes. I'm okay as a cry out for help me. I can't complain is I'm trying to make it to tomorrow and the tomorrows after. Depression, you turn my smile into a mask. Why so serious? I can't stand being serious. Now I'm a joker, always putting on a show like I'm killing it. Depression, why you got so many faces? I thought I was bipolar. How my attitude would switch two-faced. Now I'm a reflection of my broken self. Even when I'm not the problem, it's a switch in me to apologize and try to mend. I wonder if that's a now new added toxic trait to this nicely tucked away in this clay man. Because of these damn depressing ass questions, I'm a scarecrow. Formerly doctor, I tried to heal myself. I was hallucinating in this asylum, ready to fight, a fight I created for myself. A mad hatter in a world I created with no Alice to be seen. I fight because I don't want depression to bang me. Back breaking after flex, so I turn detective. I get to the bottom of my triggers. I make my fight as strong as Commissioner Gordon's will, and I look the man in the mirror and I acknowledging you. So if you show your depressing ass face, I will fuck you up. Cause I'm Batman.
My name is Knowledge. Fuck, no it's not, no it's not. I mean, I want an all day, all night type love. I don't care if it's wrong, this fucking new feels too right type love. The evidence is plain to see. Left in the seats of those of you who don't wipe like me. I was raised on Michael Jackson and Prince blaring through a stereo while we cleaned on Saturdays. You know, this must be what gray feels like. Excuse me, y'all. I seem to be inhabited by voices and words that are not my own, but I don't mean to plagiarize. I simply mean to tell you of a challenge I surely find quite daunting. You see, this is simply poetry and this shit is haunted. How can I brave this stage, having already had my poetry cherry popped? I've heard Tierra Nicole become a bird asking for prayers to come in on the same stage that Tom Hanks has talked about heroin. Where else can Whitney Houston's death be a war cry for a laugh? Where else can humble greatness make you look good for 3 minutes, or if you're me, about a minute and a half? If you need me to make my point clear, believe me, I can and I will. It ain't just the wine or the nachos or my dearly missed seafood sauce. It's the freedom of expression, the camaraderie at no cost. You see, we are legion and we are many. We fear nothing but writer's block and need only pen. But because of our sheer talent, we sometimes do ourselves in. I have thought of lines I knew would kill and couldn't wait to memorize it and unleash it on the floor. That is, of course, until I remembered, shit, I've heard this line before. I couldn't tell you what month, if it was the feature that inspired me or just the after hours talking shit. All I know is I had an amazing line, just not the original writer's consent. I envy you if you are a new fish and this is your first time in our pond, because unlike other first times you may have had, of this memory you will be fond. There will be that awkwardness. You won't move much. Your body will feel things you're not used to. You'll wonder what to do with your hands. But soon enough, we'll wrap around you in comfort and warmth, tightly pull you into our private space, overwhelm you with new sensations and emotions until you come back next month and we do it all over again. We have a cracker and an actor, a giant, a soul, and a sailor, even a teacher, a queen, and a pin. But as someone who looks upon them as all friends, I can say for the past 2 years, this is as close to home as I've ever been. This is fun and love for most of us, but on some level it's survival. Being good at what you do is one thing. On that, let me be clear. If you wish to see the best of the best, there is no need to ponder, because the true art is right here. But being good is not good enough when poetic gods are your peers. We are all poets, but to this shit there's tears. Not the kind we elicit out of you, or the kind that Nathan gives on almost every piece. I speak of the level of talent you will hear and bear witness to on this stage. And while I have been around long enough to be a vet, I will never consider myself a champion. I've carved out my little corner, but I'm aware of my setting sun within these haunted and talented names. But I hope I've staked my claim to at least be counted in your retelling. But the real question remains to be, where would they place me? You see, what you have and will continue to witness tonight is a feeling as pure as it is fleeting. You see, this is what home feels like. This is what not being alone feels like. This is magic between a poet and a mic. This is what simply poetry feels like.
Okay.
Memorize your shit, boy.
Eat a bag of dicks, poet. Now, if you have ever gone through some seriously traumatic shit and you are not a poet, I envy you. Because you'll have that feeling that's gnawing at you, that's depressing you, and you won't be able to describe it or explain it. A poet doesn't let that happen. We feel we have to dig into it, make ourselves more depressed, more sad, until we can make the peace about it. God! It's like, I don't have depression, I have notebooks. I'm not going to insult you by saying I've been exactly where you are. But I bet if you closed your eyes real tight and described it to me, I could find it. Or at least its general location. Somewhere on the map we left in our childhood. Back when our bare souls were cut on the shattered stained glass that was once the beautiful collection of something solid yet tangible. That we broke with the reverberating cries, the overwhelming thunder, and the blunt force of what we once called our potential. So let me remind you, sticks and stones. Your bones are made of materials you found in the scattered aftermath of every battle you fought in the mirror, holding that razor against your wrist, too drained to cry, too tired to blink, encapsulated by the silence as you turned on the bathroom sink. Your bones are fused together with broken promises and the lost love that you spilled into broken men, whose own insecurities led to you adopting the belief that it was you that was broken and therefore seen as weak. Your bones are battle-tested against the dying of the light. The marrow within them was stirred in the tears of every lonely night, turned solid by the chill of every moment you felt you had to cry just to be able to sleep. Your bones won't break. They're not cheap. So if that voice is a critic, remember, its opinion is something you control the narrative of. So make that narrative love. Because depression can become an obsession. Because it feels like the only time you're being noticed. But know this. I too have faced that monster in the mirror. And I drew more blood than the ink in my pen could ever deliver. So don't settle for silver. Reach for the top of that podium. Because life is a loaded gun asking you to play Russian roulette. And every bet you make takes from you and gives more to the house. But I will be your bankroller. Your bulletproof vest strapped tight to your chest, making sure you stand despite all around you begging you to fall. So don't fold. Crawl. Because that can only lead to walking, which can only lead to flying. And when you have made friends of clouds and look down, I want to be the one that gets to be there and say, wow. It's called getting up, not giving up. Now let me show you how. A spiral looks the same from both ends. So no matter how much this world tends to twist and contort you, you'll get it sorted soon. As you realize that your life is not a burden, and this path is not a burnt end on the string of fate you cling to. For it will and can bring you strength when you are at your weakest, give you new depth when you thought you were at your deepest. The sweetest release is not in its ending, but in the joy of finding all new beginnings. So breathe deep, poet. Stand in order to leap, poet. Believe, poet. For you are a savior, a voice, and a buoy to all the broken ships around you. And just like them, I promise, you will find your solid ground soon. Thank you.
This poem is dedicated to my daughters. Observant to details, ever pressing toward the mark of the most slick edges. Look at me and say, Mom, do your edges. We'll cut actual hair to make edges. Lay them down, looking like thick, blunt cut forehead eyelashes on top of crusty lace. This new generation, I mean, they cute, but I ain't slicking shit down. My hair nappy, black fist anti-assimilation. My head look like it got a kitchen at the front. My hairline strong, all my baby hair's grown. My edges are resistant. It is a protest, a fuck you in the face of Asian beauty supply stores. A bitch, I'm me. My edges are wish a motherfucker would be black folks singing. And I am telling you, I ain't going. I used to lay them down. Make them obey. I used to tried to make them straight, but they said, bitch, jumped up and death dropped into BBBs on my hairline. And I love the kids. I do. But I refuse to have a bald head chasing the edge straight enough to cut a bitch. And maybe that's it. They want me to look fierce enough to cut anybody coming for me. They see me always putting myself out there publicly and want me equipped for self-defense. And they ain't gonna believe you with the shits unless you fresh. Won't believe you ain't pressed unless you pressed. My mouth be ready to shellac a fool like Let's Jam. Lay a nigga down like board bristle brushes. Fucking with me, you gonna get raked over with a small tooth comb. And if it gets physical, my purse stay heavy. Like girls who carry a full bottle of gel, little fan, a toothbrush, and a mirror. Don't worry about me, babies. I stay looking lovely and luscious. I'ma be fine, whether this front of head is did or undid. I make all of this look good, wear the look of security, but they know my anxiety. They know my body dysmorphia. They know the truth of how I look at me sometimes. And just want me to see me how they see me. A natural and pristine hero, locked, loved, and a legit looker with a full clip. That's that piece. To the man brave enough to date a fatherless woman, this ain't gonna be easy. Feminine with mannish tendencies, I'm not a little lady or a dank, so don't try to damsel me or put me in my place. Your cape just adds another dirty piece of laundry to my load, you should know. The males before you were astronomers. Solve the void my father left, a black hole disguised as low self-esteem, a thing to be studied for a night or two, something for them to jump off in, explore, and leave. Fatherless women date off-brand versions of Kool-Aid. They are Weilers, watermelon sweet, cold, clear, and gone after you swallow. Bring them back, sis. Bring them back, sis. Yes. I said they were Weilers. Watermelon sweet, cold, clear, and gone after you swallow. We expect you to be gone after we swallow because we don't know how to react when you stay. We'll send you home today because we don't want to pretend to be you tomorrow and still have to slide into your role. Fatherless women don't know how to need you. The only man we ever knew exists inside us. We don't know what to need you for. What exactly do you do? No disrespect. I really want to know how to need you, and how to love you, and how to communicate with you, and how to have you. But I won't go extinct under your manliness, or lose myself in your skin. Losing the Mr. in me feels too much like another man abandoning me. So I'm sorry, but this fatherless woman has played his role, your role, and they role for so long, she does not know how to not be man of the house. That's that piece.
Come on, man.
He wouldn't let me do the crap. He brought his own crap up here. I was gonna strut.
Okay.
And we back. All right, so after you've done being a fatherless woman, and you never done, but when you figure out that you actually need to heal, and you kind of like want to have a relationship that works, you weigh the options and things, and you try to figure some crap out, right? All right, so bear with me. I only done this poem once, but this is Fatherless Woman Part 2. A parallel universe is a hypothetical, self-contained plane of existence coexisting with one's own. And we can use these planes to compare them to one another and figure out truths that exist in our own universe. Example. While I have not spent time with him, I always manage to date the very worst and best parts of my father. Question, is this person best, worse, or completely different, and should I run the hell away? Universe 1, you told me you love me. Think the world of me. Also, Universe 1, my father does not claim me. Universe 2, my father acknowledges my existence, had a conversation with my mother, told her I know I didn't do right by that girl, sounding like all the other men I've ever entertained that knowingly left a mess of me and left me to clean me up. Parallel between the two about me, I am the wet spot in the bed of every man I have encountered. And these waters rain freely, whether they come from my face or from between my legs. Eventually, these storms gonna rage. Truth, I never want to be your puddle. Ever. Finally found home in a universe only to discover that I was a blip in your time-space continuum. That you were willing to be a part of me, but just not really willing to be with me. Universe 1. I'm not saying that I'm a player, just a person trying to learn monogamy with a background of inconsistent people playing a fatherhood role only meant for one man. Universe 2, I saw other kids with their fathers, and it happened for them, but it never happened for me. So I'm having trouble believing you are really happening for me, despite what you have shown me. Universe 1, I play tug of war with my want for you, push you away, pull you back in, knowing damn well being away from you gives me anxiety, but I need space to breathe. Universe 2, I play tug of war with my want and need for a father, but never had the opportunity to push him away because he was never near, so I fear and crave closeness all simultaneously. Universal truths posed as questions when we find out, what if I want you and always want you? What if I want a father and I always want a father? What if I never need another man again after everything I've already experienced? What if in another dimension, I actually chose this man to be my father before I was born? What if you a fuckboy and my picker is off once again? What if these feelings are new and I don't want it? and it feels girly and compulsive and dumb? What if all I've ever wanted to feel was girly and compulsive and dumb? A daddy's girl seeing the world through his view. What if I pick the universe with you in it? What if it works? What if it doesn't? Which is scarier? What if I fuck it up and run off with another universe? What if you want someone else? What if you don't want someone else, you just don't want me? How do I know what to expect from you? What do I know, like how do I know what to ask for? What are the properties of this universe? Does this universe even have gravity? Am I floating on air or am I crashing to the ground? Love feels like it is pulling me apart, dissecting my molecules, straining me one edge to another. Is that fear? Is there a universe where I'm fearless, where I know exactly what I want and how to convey that? What if this isn't forever? Hell, what if this isn't even right now? What if I believe everything you said? You told me you love me. Think the world of me. What world? Are you telling me that I'm your world? Because that's way too much pressure. Or are you telling me you love the idea of me in your world? Or maybe, just maybe, on this very plane of existence, you see me and you want me in it, genuinely. And if that's the case, then I'll quit running and I'll pray and I'll heal, because I don't want to ever create another realm or existence that doesn't have you in it. That's that piece. Okay. Fun time. Okay, so like I had can't like serious. We were serious. We were serious. Were we not? Okay, we were serious. Okay, we're back on it. I'm on my bullshit again. I'm on my bullshit. Okay. So, in response to the question, what's your number? Yay! Nah, baby. I don't count bodies. I collect them. In response to the question, what's your number? Oh, nah, baby, I don't count bodies, I collect them. The organ that has you perplexed, this clitoris has over 8,000 nerve endings, can be stimulated from the outside and inside. Orgasms multiple times, is ageless. The more you use it, the better it gets. It stains more wetness. Is a self-cleaning thing, does not need your permission to be saved, sanctified, or holy. You will not use your filthy rag morality to judge me. Pretend to be a high-value man, I will ask you the escort services where you currently use your currency. I am not property, but metaphorically speaking, are you asking how many have lived in this house or how many were just passing through? As if a house that's had house parties has a devalued value. Are you trying to figure out my standards? I mean, after I tell you the number of the men, are you going to ask me how many of them had college education, postgraduate degrees, 401ks, Roth IRAs, credit cards, hid their money in the masters? I mean, is this just a fancy way to figure out if they put money in my hand or on the nightstand? You trying to check my cleanliness? You want to know what kind of soap they use and where I got that move? I get it. You want me to be experienced, just not so experienced as to outdo you. But I tell you what this mouth do. I'm a truth teller. I even orgasm honest. You are a bootleg scientist using quantitative tactics without qualitative analysis, and it all matters. The sometimes, the one times, the homie love offends. But if I told you rape and molestation were also a part of this count, you try to diagnose presumed promiscuity. I'm gonna save you the brain work. I do what the hell I want. I have said yes while sober, yes while inebriated, yes and been coerced, no and been punched, no in the presence of a gun, no and had to run, yes even inside of relationships and grieved and been fully distraught. And even at the end of all this, you still gonna be more pissed about how many times I said yes rather than the amount of times my no was ignored. You ain't even asked who or if I'm dealing with anyone right now, so what the fuck are you asking for? But since you asked, I'm an OG at this. These lips have sucked the depression right up out. Dick stands at attention and bows before the queen's hips. These breasts have nurtured nations. My love is revolutionary. I've martyred this pussy so niggas can say they killed it. OG at this. These lips have sucked the depression right up out. Dick stands at attention and bows before the queen's hips. These breasts have nurtured nations. My love is revolutionary. I've martyred this pussy so niggas could say they killed it. I'm not a hoe whore or a sex worker. I am a healthy, disease-free, grown ass, single ass, fine ass woman. I thought that was something that you was into, but since you're not, a real conversation isn't due. So, in response to the question, what's your number? I'm a virgin. All right. So I'll be serious again, and then I'll end it fun, and then I will give you back over to your illustrious host.
We love you, though.
I love you too.
We'll never stop loving you.
Poet. Someone understands. Yes. Yes, because bras are rude. Okay. Damn, over the shoulder boulder holders. Okay, anyway. So, let's see if we can make it through this poem. So, response poems be like, to the man that called me a slut, I said, bitch. All sideways stance and neck roll. The audience loves it when we clap back, and I stay response ready. So when my kid called me from school late one night, the hood popped out like, what's good? She said, Mom. He said, huh? She said, the police got called on me at McDonald's. Full stop. Began to told me that the crew of young white women were using joyfully racial slurs while shorting her food for which she paid. And when she responded in her angry way, Karens in training responded by weaponizing tears, calling 911 to respond to the response that they egged on. And when police are called on rowdy young black women in small towns after dark, shit's bound to go wrong. And if shit had gone wrong, then her mother, the poet, would be expected to respond to the response of the first responders who responded to a situation that was a lie. And all my kid wanted was her nuggets and fries. They would be dead wrong. She would be dead to rights. And the living that wronged her would breathe new life into a twisted media narrative. Talk about my child and where she from, label her hood rat. Talk about her dad and how he died by the gun. Say the only reason she in college is because she got affirmative action and Pell Grants, never mind the fact that my child is the honor roll collegiate at HBCU with scholarships. I would be expected to respond to all that, but what if I don't want to respond? Never want to respond again. Arts is activism, and activists know that we are custodians. We are, the job calls for us to be maids. There's never anything to save, only things to clean up. It's very reactionary. We rush in with bullhorns and tennis shoes on after the wrong, after the blood has been spilled, and all I can think of is, what if my child was killed? Right. I don't want to respond to that. And fuck you for thinking I have to. Right. And fuck an entire movement who thinks a grieving parent has to carry a moment on their back. Understand, Mamie was a blessing. Leslie was a blessing. Mike Brown Sr. and Sabrina are blessings. And I'm telling you, if there ever comes a time where my child's life is on the line, my misery will not be a blessing for you. I will not paint my child a martyr, stand by as the crying mother being strong and watch as nothing else happens but a landfill full of more picket signs. Ain't no marches around whatever Jericho shouting for the wall of corruption to come down that's going to be a consolation prize for me doing a poem at my child's funeral while she lays in a grave. I don't want to hear mobs of people chanting my child's name anywhere other than track or a basketball game, nor do I want poets across the USA adding my child's name to their graveyard of the slain that resides in their stanzas. That call shook me to my core. It made me quiet. And after it, there were still tears rolling down my cheeks because my greatest fear was almost realized. And for that, I ain't got no response. pay no bills. Fuck them bills. Don't feed them kids. Fuck, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Them kids. Them kids better fuck around, learn how to fucking live. When I say fuck them kids, I mean the infant too. Okay? Don't go to work, fuck that job. If you the boss, fuck them employees. Fuck the cleaning and the chores. Fuck all these people who want you to give a fuck for fucking free. Fuck that and fuck them. Tell these fuck mooching hoes to get some fucks of their own. I'm sure somebody got some fucks on clearance. Today, we gonna do what the fuck we want. We gonna wash our ass when we feel like it. We gonna use all the hot water and the good soap. We gonna air dry our nuts. We gonna stand on the balcony butt ass naked drinking pumpkin spice. We gonna wear white after Labor Day, open umbrellas in the house, jump on the furniture, fuck your couch, fuck your couch. Today, we gonna eat all the sugar and the carbs. You know, when's the last time y'all ate a French fry? Today. Well, everybody except you. Because if you ain't ate no French fry, eat that shit. Fuck it. Today, we gonna take extra long naps. And when we wake up, we gonna fuck ourselves. Having problems in your relationship, fuck it, fuck somebody else. Ladies, if you don't have anybody in your life, walk past the mirror and grab your own ass twice. Men, admit that you like your nipples licked. Find somebody to do that shit, and if they look at you crazy, you better drop that judgmental bitch. And when I say that shit, I mean that shit. You deserve your nipples licked just as much as you deserve to say fuck it. And when I say that shit, I mean that shit. Do all the things, do none of the things, fuck it. And yes, anarchy against adulting, also known as Fuck It Day, may land you in divorce court or prison. But never mind that. Listen, that's not what's important. What's important is that for the last 3 minutes, you haven't taken seriously any of your responsibilities. You had a moment of self-care, so congratulations for being able to let down and unwind, and soon you'll be able to celebrate fuck it anytime because you need to. Because everyone deserves to say fuck it. International Fuck It Day has been brought to you by the National Council of Adulting and People in Skills. Please remember to celebrate Fuck It Day responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Use your seatbelt. Wipe front to back. Wash behind your ears and underneath your nutsack. And please drink your Ovaltine. Thank you.
Ask me who am I, my most likely reply? I don't know. I know I'm not popular, but I'm too known to be unknown. I'm like a warning shown. Then that dumbass stare down with destruction that's like, fuck it, go hard or go home. I'm like the beauty of original programming mixing with the sentience of eventual clones. I'm the wisdom, the partner mixed with the passionate spirit to go at it alone. I'm a foundation that makes a house stand, that understands it takes much more to be a home. Ask me who am I, my most likely reply? I don't know. I guess I'm something like the pressure hidden deep in the seeds. I'm the confidence preparation manifest from anxiety. I'm mixing with the ambition of evolution and the elevation of revolutionaries until the cycle repeats and my feats force me to look down on mountain peaks. I'm pretty like a young Mayweather or a champion Ali. Patient with my effect like butterflies, yet patient like yet necessary like bees. And if you don't feel me, well that's fine, because I'm fingers that speak. Eyes that hear, ears that smell bullshit, and skin that sees your vision through the lens of energy. I'm emboldened and empowered empathy. I'm essential like peace and protected like its seed. I'm relentless passion that fights to be seen. I wish I could change my name to Hakeem or sing falsetto, because who the fuck you sleeping on? It ain't hard to see I'm the dream. Ask me who am I, my most likely reply. I don't know. But I know I can intelligently speak about prayer and meditation. I can give TED Talks on faith and manifestation. I can spot liars as I grind on this road more than tires, guiding you to the supplier or through supplication. I can speak on polyunions of the covenant of community. I identify with being an alien, but am quick to show myself mercy because I am just a human. I'll smoke a forest worth of trees and then go teach on small. I'm good from the street corner to the church to the mosque to the synagogue. Some think I'm selfish, others only know me for giving. They both right. I value wisdom. So I got friends from the pulpit to those thankful they ain't in prison serving life. That's how I relate to the the youth and the elders, the pilot and the welders, the jeweler and the smelters. That's how I stay in tune with the details and the larger picture, applying mantras, surahs, affirmations, and scripture, all while doing this being one handsome ass nigga. Ask me who am I? My folks like to reply, Black Soul. Move this shit out the way.
Set your stage up, bro.
You heard me? Hey man, thank y'all so much for coming out. Thank y'all so much for sticking around, man. 2 years in this thing. I've been hosting for about 1.5 years, and I cannot thank y'all enough. But I see a lot of faces and people that I ain't seen in a while, and it kind of takes me back. This is year 13 for me. And certain times I get up here and it feels like it's the first time I ever done it. Other times, like tonight, when I'm able to share the stage with so many poets that I've traveled out of town and met with and been in all of, you know, I feel like, and I guess I should say too, I'm actually on my way to a funeral right after this. Hitting the road, headed to Iowa. And this set has been kind of weighing heavy on me. I didn't know what I was going to do. You know, my friend passed away last Thursday, so it kind of shook up everything. So I decided, you know, he used to talk shit about me. He's one of my oldest friends, so he could never hit me without clowning. Every single time he hit me up, he was clowning on something. But he would always take time to make sure he shouted out certain pieces that touched me. You know, and years later, to know that somebody who met me when I was 17 could recognize that growth, you know. I'm rambling, but I'm gonna get into the next piece. I'm kind of an old school dude. How many of y'all know about Gil Scott Heron?
Yeah.
Like 3 of y'all, that's cool. When it comes to poetry, I'm something like a junkie underneath the twilight, cold and missing home. But I left 3 days ago, and no one seems to know I'm gone. So I find myself alone in these green flower dreams, where puffs of smoke like powder overpower sour scenes. I may never go home. Even when this path feels like Heron's herring, despite what you're hearing, Gil Scott never felt this alone. In spite the number of times I hit it just to kick it and quit it, just to hit it and kick it and quit it, I was afraid of the admission that this addiction was trapped in my bones. When my heart was heavier than D in 93, who's the man behind this eternal plan becomes the final question before losing patience. Whether praying or manifestation, why does it seem like subconsciously I'm always begging for conversation, that is? Until I listen to myself. Behold the power of this flowered green, perfectly imbalanced, but there to offer me balance of what I need. Though the moment I see that is God, somehow I blaspheme. So I left 3 days ago, but no one seems to know I'm gone. You sure you want to take this walk with me through these green flower dreams, where puffs of smoke like powder overpower sour scenes of reality? You know, the ones that are ripe with lemons but empty pitchers. Because the hardest thing to find is aim when you're a loud, proud, dark, socially conscious, community-minded, civilly outraged man pretending penny pinches and penny pinching they separate to a system that stands with death and destruction as cardigan buttons. Placating you with celibate solutions, because the truth is, it ain't producing nothing. That's why our halls of change are filled with pain, destruction, and grit. Hard not to see negativity when every new room you greet has murder and depression as the trend. Curtains of uncertainty that certainly shade our children from the truth. Changing that, trading that guiding light into casting shadows of what we could have been, or what we have the potential to do. Leaving the power of the present moment and all of the resources attached on that table. We ask each other what we bring to when our emotions attack. But also why I sit back and relax where every inhale is serene. If my days should turn to nightmares, I simply counter the terror with my superpower, overpowering any scene, the peace and perspective I gain from these green flower dreams. Cause Home is where the hatred is. Home is filled with pain, and it might not be such a bad idea if I never went home again. I want to say one thing, and I got 2 more pieces, and I'm gonna get up out of here. Support this, y'all, and not just this. It's some more poetry events popping up around town. Walter comes out; he's a faithful supporter of Simply Poetry. He got Ponder This. They put on events. Support poetry in this town, man. When I came here 14 years ago, this wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing, and now for it to be so many different homes. And each one is different, and each one has its own lifeblood, man. If y'all did what y'all seen out here tonight, tell somebody. Come out to the next event. Keep this thing growing, because I'm telling you, Vic already told you he expanded. Walter been expanding. This thing gonna keep growing, and I want Wichita to be a hub of poetry, man, because it's talented. And I apologize if my set is a little heavy. Like I said, things have been kind of weighing on me. And this stage is our therapy. And it's been a while since I really got a chance to use it for that reason. So, did it. I caught myself meditating on sidewalks littered with the organs of kidnapped black women. Used and discarded like black and mild tips or rotted black watermelon rinds, praying frantically not to suffocate. When every breath is a deep gasp of air poisoned with the spores of broken promises to black kids. It imprisons them to the smog of illiterate and illegitimate sentences, wasting both their innocence and time. Desperation becomes one with the air like weed ash flicked carelessly from car windows. Right before we ingest our fast food supply, poverty stuff, racism-inspired meal made of misaligned memes. Facades. Maiming our intellect as we internalize a malign philosophy, we consciously court culinarily contorted cliches comprised of sugar-coated, glitter-dusted, candy caramelized lies. But it fits our mood for the day. While making it appear to social media, we are wise, so I closed my eyes and meditated on sidewalks sticky from the dreams of black youth. Left exposed to the noon sun that melted like push pops, mixing with blood from when the system pushed until our piece popped like cold water balloons on jagged summertime rocks. If I could mute this reality, it'd be heaven sent. So many of our conversations need irrigation and a pure intent. Maybe then our interactions will reciprocate unity and reinforce a more natural nourishment, so forgive me. If I self-medicate before I meditate, then disassociate from stereotypes growing like weeds in concrete groves. Where the chosen have become unfit and swollen while you have the audacity to ask me why. Knowing we'd rather eat the fruits of senseless competition. Stingily swatting flies from feasts, lacking in feats, but ripe in superstition, as if we like disposition, as if we like dripping with anxiety and ignorance, as if we like paranoid itching, looking over your shoulder now, nervous twitching, every time you consider the intention of a system of social addictions posturing as political conditions, mixing with a culture that can't wait to get high. We rock Diamond Do Not Disturb placards, hoping it takes the attention of the target you see if we walk backwards. We treat hope like a liability, like it's a pothole opening. We listen to suicide notes penned by Spudge mosaics that in front of a mic for some reason we call poetry. So I meditate on sidewalks littered with depression and homicide. War zones of conditioned scarcity that scarcely provide anything more than the cold hard ground when it's your turn to cry. So I become quiet. Consciousness, existence, bliss. Consciousness plus existence equals bliss. I pray we persist and realize the core of this plan can only stand if we don't see the power is in our hands to change this. Like Grandma Snug, I meditate to encompass the whole hood in the hood, because the more success I achieve, the clearer it is to me. It's not money we need, it's love. So I meditate on sidewalks littered with depression for every second that my own worth was questioned. I meditate to healthily disassociate for every time fear made me seek escape. I meditate in the quiet aspiration puddles of black youth. Because though it's mixed in, I can still see my tears in there too. I caught myself meditating on sidewalks littered with the organs of kidnapped black women. Used and discarded like black and mild tips or rotted black watermelon rinds, praying frantically that one day they wouldn't be. This is my last piece and I'm gonna get up out of here, man. And it's fitting that y'all spoke up, man, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like I said, when I started doing poetry in Wichita, this type of scene wasn't here. So very quickly I realized I was gonna have to hit the road, and this is something that I wanted to do consistently. And those three poets back there are three of the dopest poets that I ran into on the road. And it leads me to tell Victor, thank you. When I came to Vic, I said, man, I know some dope poets. I have seen some absolute talent that the world needs to hear. And I think this could be a platform for them. And now that people look at Wichita, we didn't have to take poets to the other city. They come in here. And this is the platform. Thank you, Vic. Thank you, Simply Sandria. And thank you to all the poets that did this. So I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. I love y'all. I don't never do this shit. If you wanna find me online, BLKSOL. Find me on all social media platforms, except for Twitter, but last time I heard it ain't nothing but nasty motherfuckers on Twitter. Anyway, so if you're looking for me on Twitter, just come talk to me. You don't need Twitter. Y'all let you go. I got this vision that I've been chasing for years. And I didn't understand back then that my perception would shape the experiences trapped in anecdotes that eventually would start off. I remember way back when. Now everybody say. I remember way back when. Now everybody say. I remember way back when. You ever been blinded by love? Yeah. I say blinded because all I could see was rescue, rejuvenation, rest, and relief when it came to poetry. It picked lingering locks, loosened shackles, and set me free. Now shining like a noon sun, blinding. So I guess it makes sense that I couldn't see the time in the darkness that eventually I would come to spend. See, it's the only true home of light. Letting you see each and every person for exactly who they are. Black holes or stars. I felt imprisoned by this vast black canvas. Sentenced to emptily pray that celestial brushstrokes will provide me answers, though predictably, all I found was bars, metaphors, similes, and stories that I tried my best to hold. But at times, life proved that it was plenty cold and taught me there's a fine line between denial and hope, between a rhyme that hits and being the punchline to a joke, between taking the crowd's breath away and being the one to choke, between finally being seen or hearing, why are you always fucking with them folk? So I retreat to my vision, allowing my spirit to bathe in that light once more. No longer blinded or wasting time on what's in store. Though I've been polished by spotlights, this poem tonight is about how the darkness refined me to my core, melted into my skin and evolved my very being, reminding me daily that if I seek within, my soul will extend because I am one with everything. My ancestors' wildest dreams insisted through scenes of their coldest nightmares. Blessed with a vision of balance, so although the hate and manipulation are present, I see love everywhere. I embrace brotherhoods and sisterhoods. We need each other to exist. Real quick, if we agreed to fix our families, how many of these tragedies do you think will still exist? The heaviness in my rhymes at times makes me submit. Thinking to myself, desperation and depression are stuck to us like hot grits. Misery loves company and flies are attracted to shit. So maybe they say get it out the mud and get you too high, too drunk, and too full of your funk to really notice what it is. Where's my vision? Time begins to pixelate. Colors begin to fade and fall away. Trapped into this abyss of blackness, backed into a corner, I have no fight. Because I finally realized, the more quickly I become one with the darkness, the more quickly I attract the light. It's my passion, paving pathways of gold from a background now all white. It's my passion. Flowing crystal clear waters of renewal while peace condenses from thin air. Here, I rest carefree. Finally, free of despair, oppression, and depression. This is the scene of my vision. Finally, I can say I'm healed. Past tense, no suspense. The contents of how I advanced lay here, concealed in bars, metaphors, stories, and similes of life, all giving you a glimpse into my vision and a piece of the provision I get every time I write.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long way from home. We are all visitors here. Never mind who opens the door when you appear. Never mind the hospitality or lack thereof. This ain't home. Do not complain about your lack of comfort and don't become what you see. This ain't Rome. You've lost your way, roamed so far out of bounds, and now you've concerned yourselves with the question of whether or not the white man has you bound. Have you forgotten the covenant to which you are bound? Have you forgotten that you are heaven bound? Everyone concerns themselves with the question of where is God, but hasn't taken the time to look around. Look into the pain disguised as eyes of the brother by your side. See the sorrow and the spirit of the sister sitting next to you. If you don't see God in them, you don't recognize fiery passion or wrath or jealousy or path, and you won't escape slave owners without one. I'm sorry, but master can't kill you dead if you insist upon having a heartbeat. Rise up. Whoever told you you were owed a mother? Rise up. Whoever was indebted to you for a home? You got work to do, child. And I know you feel like a motherless child, but why ain't a father enough? And I know you feel a long way from home, but how you gonna act like vacations are tough? This is temporary stay. So prison or palace, you gonna be okay, and you don't get to give up. You pave a way if it don't already exist. I know you feel like a motherless child. But you sing like caged birds ever got free on their own before. And I know you feel a long way from home. But you speak on homes like they are just four walls, a roof, and a floor you fool. Take solace in the hearts around you. Be lit by the fire of the hearts that surround you. Allow the stovetops of your brothers and sisters to nourish you. You dictate your own time like you allow clocks to. Do not let this world make an icebox of you. Have the hearts of mothers for each other. And together, you build your own home until we get there. Thank you. So that was me as Wanderer. I'm gonna go ahead and sing some songs. So, hello, I'm Sydney now. Oh my God, Sydney, I love you!
You ask for too much of me, and I'm no superwoman, but I never pretended to be you. You expected me to be your lover, and I get any love in return. No, that don't jive with me. You never gave me the love I deserved, and you never treated me like I was worthy. No, don't be mad, I'm going. Oh, that's all it was ever about, yeah. And I'm so through with that. And baby, it's not that I don't love you, no, no. I just learned to love myself too, and I need to do it alone. You never was impossible. I stayed for as long as I could. I held you down and I fought your wars. I gave you more of myself than I gave to anything in the whole world. Piece by piece, you took all of me. And I ain't even mad at you, baby. I'm mad at me. I always held my breath and stayed quiet just to save us. Now I'm saving me. I know you think that you love me, but this ain't how love is supposed to be. Piece by piece, I find all of me. I already forgave you, baby. Just let me leave. That's called You Superwoman. You can find it on your streaming platforms if you so desire. I'll spell my name because it's super easy. It's not. CYDNEE space ALYXZAN. Sydney Alexander. And I have music on the places. Anybody ever been in love? Question. That's a question. I said it like a statement. Anybody ever been in love? Anybody ever accidentally fallen in love?
Spell you again.
Oh, what? Y-O. Yeah, I'm CYDNEE space ALYXZAN. And don't be just pretending like you over there adding something. I better see. I got my phone somewhere. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. You messed up my speech. I'm talking about love. Okay, who's been in love before? Anybody? Okay, a couple people have been in love. Anybody have a best friend? Anybody ever had a best friend that they maybe had a relationship with them that should have just stayed friends? Anybody have one of those? No, we don't do those. Fair enough. Where were y'all at? No, I believe that I do believe in soulmates, and I do believe sometimes we think that relationships are meant to be something that maybe they're not, and it makes it very difficult to continue the relationship that you're meant to have with someone when you cross the boundaries that you're not supposed to. And we're all human and have emotions, and it can be hard to deal with that and go backwards. So this song is called Soulmates, and it's kind of about that. So bear with me. I don't think have I ever played this live? Oh, I have? Okay, I've played this before, but let's act like I haven't, because I don't really know. Every time I sit and think about all that we've been through, I wonder if you regret it. I know that love ain't easy, baby, but we have given it our damnedest. Ain't no shame don't make it that way. Ain't gotta be your heartbreak. We just ain't them kind of soulmates. Where did the time go? It flies when you're having fun. I know you're still my favorite person to spend it with. Every love that don't make it that way ain't gotta be your heartbreak. We just ain't them kind of soulmates. Said that you're my favorite person. Don't take this person. I know you've noticed that our love is stagnant. Ain't no sense in loving out of habit. What we have is still real. Ain't no need to fake it. You gon' have me begging on my knees if and you decide that you gotta leave just because we ain't them kind of soulmates. Where did the time go? It flies when you're having fun. I know you're still my favorite person to share it with. You gon' have me begging on my knees if and you decide that you gotta leave just because we ain't them kind of soulmates. Every time I sit and think about all that we done been through, I wonder if you regret it. That's so nice. You feel like singing? Okay, so my best friend Kimberly Page is about to come up here and sing a song with me. Uh-oh, no she's not, no she's not. Oh, she is, okay. Check. Y'all get up for Kimmy. Y'all get up for Kimmy.
Hello. We are a team. Two bad motherfuckers for real.
Two bad mans.
Yeah, I stay right here. I'll be right here. Let's go right here.
She don't listen.
Alright. Okay, alright.
I was waiting.
I'm gonna listen. What you want me to do? See, you can't even move that.
You saw that. I moved it. You saw that. You saw that. I moved it.
We are a team. We are a team.
Don't even try. Don't tell me to wipe my eyes until you wanna be mine, and you don't have to tell me about how I'm breaking my own heart. You don't have to play that part. I still want you to be mine, You never seen me pretend. My heart is open, so come on in. I just wanna kiss your lips, and I can if you would be mine, We never have to fight. Just talk to me, baby, all night. Let's make this right. Thank y'all so much. I hope you had a fantastic time.
It all falls down. It all falls down. When it all falls down. I'm telling you, it all falls down. Bag a lady, you gon' hurt your back, dragging all them bags like that. I guess nobody ever told you all you must hold on to is you, is you, is you. One day he gon' say you crowding my space. One day he gon' say you crowding my space. One day he gon' say you crowding my space. So one day he gon' say you crowding my space. So pack light, oh, oh. Can I get a rim shot? Ayy, dig a rim shot. Ayy, come on, rim shot. Ayy, dig a rim shot. Ayy, come on, rim shot. Ayy, dig a rim shot. Ayy, come on, rim shot. Ayy, dig a rim shot. Ayy. I will tell you this one time. Girl, I want you to be mine. All I see is you right now. Can I lay with you outside? Feel your body next to mine. Cause I need you now. Don't wanna leave, I just wanna be here by your side. You make me feel and believe that we're in paradise. I don't feel the ground, I don't feel the ground, but I'm feeling right. I tell you what it's all about, making me feel this way, kinda like, oh, sing with me, da 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 da, da 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 da, da da da. Oh, you make me feel and believe, baby, I da 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 da. No. Y'all, we just be adding shit to this, okay? I don't know what they want from me. It's like the more money we come across, the more problems we see. Hey, I don't know what they want from me. It's like the more money we come across, the more problems we see. Hit that shit, Sid.
Who hot, who not? Tell you who sold out at the store, who's out. I'll tell you who perfect. I'm fucking with y'all. Y'all are awesome. Thank y'all so much. Please give it up for Kimberly Page. I'm Sydney Alexander, and when I do poetry, I'm Wander, and I really appreciate y'all. Thanks.